Hey guys, so I figured while I had a moment, I would go ahead and do a post. First of all, shout out to EB for sending what I need to go ahead and take my course so I can get my credentials to get into WGU. So thank you for that, dear. You didn't say I couldn't do a shout out on that one. So there you go. Thank you. In fact, I'm going to be doing that today. I planned on doing that on Sunday, but I was so wiped. And then yesterday was all the craziness of my first day off, which means run, 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 run. Still recover from the day before. So once I start doing my work and I get all the miscellaneous shit out of the way, that will be a little bit easier. So I found out some things. I have to get my transcripts, so I have to cough up a little bit of cash flow for that one. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll be getting up online and getting transcripts for me and for my hubby so that we have them, just in case. Never hurts in case he wants to go back to school, which if I go back to school, I might be able to convince him. So keep your fingers crossed on that one. I'm also going to be looking into financial aid once I get my course started and up off the ground. So I'm going to be paying for my course through Corsica, and I'm going to get that rolling today. I have no more excuses. Laundry is done. Well, it's not folded, but it's done. And it will be one of those things that I can stop in the middle of something and just go ahead and fold and put it away and then get back to what I'm doing. So there won't be any distractions along those lines. I went and got a Tdap. Ow. And I got a blood draw. Ow. For the current job that I have now. So the guy won't be going, so when are you going to get that done anymore? This means we can now get badges and things like that and be able to get extra work when they have it come his way. Which, okay. I'm not going to cry about that. As long as it's within my area and it doesn't eat up my gas too bad, I don't care. But yeah, I went ahead and got that done today. Other fun things that I have to do is I have to call the office and tell them it's going to be the 7th. I had about $100 come out in an unexpected fashion for me. Or forgive the background noises, our windows are open, so forgive that. Just because phone bill, that's about $200, and then I had extra miscellaneous stuff that I didn't have in the pantry, so I went ahead and got that, and then I had to go and put gas in the car, so that's about a good 120, so 320. So I'm going to go ahead and call the office and tell them that most likely the 5th is the last day that you can pay rent. And it still be within parameters, but it's going to be the 7th. I'm not happy about it, but they don't really seem to mind that too much because we pay our bill. We pay it when we say we're going to pay it, and if there's any late fees, we pay that too. So I don't really think they care so much about that. And that will give me breathing room. That will give me the ability to make the car payment as well. That will give me the ability to just breathe. And then the great thing is by the time next month, the end of next month rolls around, I'll be right back on schedule. So that's what makes me happy. It's whenever we're out of work for any period of time, even just one of us, it sets us back. And it seems like it's taken forever. But this has only been like the 2nd month where we're going to have to ask for an extension. And it's not even that long. I'm not talking halfway through the month. I'm talking like anywhere between 2 to 5 days afterwards. But it's still a source of aggravation for me. I hate being late. And this is how the poor stay poor and the rich get richer. I pay my bills. I pay them on time. I pay any late fees. If for any reason it's not on time, I let people know. Oh my gosh, it's not going to be on time. I like my bills paid. I do. And this is why I'm persistently out of money. So it's one of those things, but I won't have to ask for help. Of course, tarot readings wouldn't go amiss. I'm always happy to do those. But yeah, Things are going well. I'm a little bit behind the schedule I wanted, but I got lectured by hubby. He's like, this isn't going to be like you burn yourself out. And I'm like, no, dude. It's just I want to get started or else I never will. I'm one of those. Either I get started or I don't. I do have a lot of feelings about the rulings that came down with Roe versus Wade, but I had feelings about some of the stuff they passed before then, and some of that they have passed since, and it all ties together. I find it really, really funny that the public. I understand that Maine's state system is different. I get that, but at the same time, I find it really funny that the public has to pay for somebody's religious education. As a taxpayer, I'm not fond of that. I don't think that's a great idea. And I don't care which religion it is, but I already know the religion most likely it's going to be going to. I feel that the church should help you with that. I feel that if you have that kind of money where you can send your child, that I certainly shouldn't be paying for it. I think that the fees for most church-based schools are exorbitant and outrageous, and there's no need for it, because most of whatever it is they're spending it on, I should know. I went to a Catholic school. It's not going where one would think it's supposed to be going, just to let you know. But that's me. But I don't like that erosion between church and state. And to me, that's for the religious institutions as well. Because if you're saying, okay, the public has to pay for a child to go to a religious school, now that does mean that the public, state, local, anything like that, can then reach into the church and tell them what it is they're supposed to be teaching. So while a lot of churches are celebrating this, they need to stop and think. Your tax exempt status could be removed. Okay? Especially if you're starting to get involved in politics. There's been way too many that have, and it's been let slide. They have gotten themselves personally involved in politics at the local, state, and national levels. To me, that means that your tax exempt status should go bye-bye, but that's me. But we have rules against that. But if all of a sudden the public is being involved in religion, that means that the religion can have the public involved in them. This will not work out well for either side. So you've got that erosion where now the public has to pay for religious education. Then we have a New York law, which is what they were aiming for, that's been on the books for over a century, that says that you can't just walk around with a handgun outside of your house. You can have one inside your house, nobody cares. New York is a big place, it's packed full of people, and everybody's slightly temperamental. You can see this is the reason why the law was put in place. But now we have the overreach of, well, you know what, the states can't seem to decide, obviously, how these laws should be handled. And we don't trust their judgment on that. So everybody everywhere can carry any gun they want outside of their home. They can carry it open. I'm pretty sure they're still going to allow concealed licenses to have to be used for some areas, but some areas already have a law where you can open carry. So you're going to have loads of people everywhere armed to the teeth. And the Supreme Court said that this is federal because obviously states can't be trusted with that. Literally within the span of 24 to 72 hours, then we get a ruling going, well, we can't trust the federal government when it comes to regulating females. We don't like how the federal government does that. So we're going to allow the states to decide on whether or not you're going to be a walking incubator. This is something that I have talked with a lot of people about. This does primarily affect women. The biggest impact is on women. The biggest impact is on people of color and those who exist at or below the poverty line, which is a great load of the United States. It really is. And where this is going to be instituted the hardest is in the place that are hardest hit, where the maternal rates are bad, where all of that is just bad, okay? Where the maternal mortality rate is, I mean, let's just take Arkansas. Maternal mortality rate is, it's the third highest in the country. It's pretty freaking bad. And then you have 71% of that is people of color. And the states where they're going to regulate their females because they cannot be trusted, obviously, on how to run their own lives. Thank you very much. You have to have a politician tell you what you're going to be doing instead of consulting with your doctor and with your family and keeping it private. Then you have the issue of, well, now they're born, so how are you going to take care of them? That seems to be less of an issue. That's what bothers me. They want so badly to make you have a kid, but they have absolutely no support network, and they don't plan on having one. That's your problem. And that's something that when I left Kentucky was an actual thing. Something that actually bothered me the most was an actual thing. Well, you went and you had kids, so you figure it out. And it's like, but we've pretty much set the system where I don't have a choice. Well, honestly, that's your problem. How about you just stop having sex? I'm sorry. I'm married or in a relationship or whatever the hell. This is not something that the state should be mandating. And considering that most people who have an abortion are people who already have children, that's kind of stupid. And then they love this whole second, third term, blah, 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 abortion. That's generally done because of extreme health risks, both to the mother or to the infant, or the infant isn't viable. And then you have the fact that you can't tell the difference between an abortion and a miscarriage. It's pretty much the same process for the body. So how are you going to be able to tell that? And then there's the fact that it does involve privacy laws. Everybody's privacy is going to be up for grabs. This isn't just a female thing. This is an everybody thing. Now anybody can search your records with barely a wisp of a warrant just because they feel like it. That's not good. And then there's the fact that this does involve men. This involves them. This means that their family can't make decisions. That what if their wife dies while trying to have a baby that she was told at 4 months of carrying? You literally have a 5-month sentence. Or worse yet, now you have a baby that you've been carrying this whole entire time that you knew early on was not going to survive. What does that do to you? Then here it is, just yesterday, further erosion of the lines between church and state, where some dumbass decides he likes to pray, and because we are talking teenagers and children, whatever it is he's doing, they're automatically going to follow with. And I don't care if you pray, dude, cool. Do it by yourself, okay? But you are performing a public service job where you're being paid by the state and by the taxpayer to perform that job. To teach children. That's it. For whatever your chosen subject is. You want to pray before and after? You know what? Hey, go and take care of sports at your local religious school. Or, how about you just not involve other people? Maybe you do an announcement, go, this is what I'm going to be doing. If you want to come, come. If you don't, but hey, you may want to get your parents' permission. I'm still not very happy with it, but I can't control what you do as an individual. I should be able to control what you do as a coach or a teacher who are dealing with children of all colors, all stripes, all religions, all ethnicities. I don't feel that you should be forcing them or making them feel bad because you want to go do this thing that not all of them do. My children are not religious. I am an ex-Catholic. I prefer the Episcopalian side that I was raised by, but I am ex-Roman Catholic. I am pagan. I do not want my children, number one, maligning somebody else's religious figure by pretending to pray to somebody that they don't believe in. How does that accomplish anything? And because they feel pressured to do so. There's all kinds of pressures on kids. All kinds. Peer pressure is the least of it. Seeking approval of the adults around them that they like, that teach them, that guide them, that counsel them, that's really important. And here it is. Now we have some asshat at a freaking place I used to live, which I told you, Bremerton is scary. This is one of the reasons why. Has decided that his right to pray trumps everybody else's right to tell him to go do it in a freaking closet or something. And that he should be able to do it openly and drag people in on it. And everybody should worship with me. You're not supposed to be worshiping, you're supposed to be playing a friggin' football game. Okay? I know there's a lot of people out there, probably in my friends list, be like, ugh, whatever. Well, that's fine. It's called You Can Defriend Me. That's cool. But quite frankly, I'm not going around and waving candles in your face and screaming about Zeus and Apollo or Baphomet or, pick your gods. And demanding that you worship with me, that you walk the circle, that you call the corners, that you stop and do these things while we pray to some entity that you don't believe in and don't care about, while I wave sage over you. That's uncool. That is not what my religion is about. Actually, it's kind of the opposite of what my religion is about. So I have feelings. I am still angry. I am depressed, but I'm not surprised. This is going to get worse before it gets better. And as much as I love the party that I most identify with, one of our flaws is we have a bad habit of being complacent. We have a bad habit of hand-wringing. We have a bad habit of not being forceful with our views and our beliefs, even though ours, we feel, is the best way. The only way is forward. The whole point of the party that I'm part of is we're all in this together. We should all be able to benefit. We should all put our shoulder to the wheel. We should all contribute so that everybody has something. Everybody. That doesn't make a difference. Everybody. The other one, I don't know what they're thinking, but they certainly don't care about people like me, and they make that clearer and clearer by the day. They're the dirty tricksters. They play the long game, except here in the last 15 years they've forgotten how to do that because it's already rolling for them. I mean, they've already loosened the pens. Now you just need somebody to pop them, and that's pretty much what's happening. So that's that. I'm going to let that one go. I just wanted to show I haven't been ignoring this. I have a tendency to keep my political opinions to myself because I'm just a little bit extreme for some people. It's just the way that I am. I get very, very passionate, as they say. But I am moving along within my coursework. I've got appointments set up for the kiddos. I'm going to have to find them a new pediatrician. That's just because our last one's in Bremerton. I'm not driving all the way out to Bremerton to take them to see the doctor. So I have to find one here. But the baby's all set up for his PT appointments. He's probably going to be going to summer school. And hubby and I are just going to keep working and doing what we can. Today is transcripts. I'm going to be looking at financial aid a little bit later on. Tomorrow I've got a phone call with my counselor. And I'll see where I'm going from there. I have the ability to pay for classes thanks to somebody giving us a bit of a boost. And I'll be contacting the office and letting them know that once again I will be about 2 days late with rent, but I will be there. And then I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to get to work. I am pretty much caught up with everybody. I just have to catch up with my own posts and comments. But it's going to happen. I just got to get some stuff cleared out of the way today first. So keep your fingers crossed for me. keep your fingers crossed for all of us here in America. Um, it seems we're Americaing more than we did before. And that's something I did want to mention. Do you notice how much more extreme it's gotten since the pandemic? I don't know if that's deliberate or not, the extending of it. Of course, we had an extension on it, on everybody being on lockdown because we have people who just refuse to follow the rules. Um, but I'm almost wondering if that in itself was a deliberate action because people who are isolated get twitchy, and people who get twitchy stop thinking so well, and whatever it is they're thinking, they get ground in. So I've kind of noticed that the pandemic has done us a disservice in this regard because the extremists have gotten more extreme and everybody else is just trying to make ends meet and get back to where we were. And we're never going to be where we were. But we have to figure out a way to go forward. And we have to fight for the rights that are being taken out from underneath us almost faster than we can blink. Because if you think they won't end gay marriage, if you think they won't put the sodomy laws back on the books, or remove birth control, or separate us back out again, or decide that people of color are not quite as much people as you thought. Now, if you think that's not possible, I want you to stop and think about how my freedom, even though technically I'm past the birthing age, my freedom is gone. Oh, they say I'm free. But you know, I never really quite trusted that to begin with. Roe versus Wade was about the only thing that made me trust that maybe I'm an equal citizen. Me being able to vote certainly didn't do that. After all, people of color could vote, but black people ate in their restaurants and they drank from their water fountains. They could still vote, as long as they stayed on their side of the line. Me, I'm not barefoot pregnant in the kitchen, and I dare to think that I can actually have a job outside of my home. This is one way to ensure that won't happen anymore. And if you think I'm wrong, let's see what they have next up on the chopping block. My freedom is essentially gone, in everything but name. So, keep that in mind. Let's keep fighting, and until I see you guys next, take good care of yourselves, take good care of each other, and know that I love you.